It's Jessie and Stacy with Chapter Chicks.
We are here to do the Bookalicious Tag. This was made by Lauren at the collab channel at the Bookalicious channel. And then we were tagged by Kate, who is also a part of the Bookalicious collab channel. We will put a link to their channel in the down bar. So go check them out.
Right there. You see them? Do you see them? Did you click on it?
They're also holding auditions right now, so if you want to join a collab channel, that would be a good one to join. This tag is 25 questions long, so
very, very long.
It's a biggie. Oh, and also the questions that have been repeats from the other tags, we're just going to give a different book for the answer. Yeah, and I tried to go to the non-go-to books.
I just picked books. I didn't pay attention to whether or not I used them last time or not.
Yeah.
The first question is, what % of books do you get at the library, and what % do you get at a bookstore?
We don't really get any books from the library because the reason I don't is because if I like the book and I go buy my own copy, then my own copy will not really get read.
Yeah, I am as much of a collector of books as I am a reader of books, so I like to have my own copy, have my own, just my story on the book, pretty much. My damage, my love.
The next question is, what character would you like to be and why?
After watching last night's True Blood, I really want to be Sookie.
That's a good one.
That lucky girl!
That's a good one. I wish I would have thought of that one.
Yeah, so, or not last night's True Blood, last Sunday. We didn't watch it till last night because we like to wait till we're all together as a family to watch it.
Yes.
And it was very good, and I want to be Sookie now.
I picked Elizabeth Bennet just because I love Mr. Darcy. I love that time period.
Mr. Darcy.
Yes, so I would love to be Elizabeth Bennet because she was a rebel.
Okay, the next question is, what is your favorite book from your childhood?
Mine is The Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
Love that book.
By C.S. Lewis. This is the second book in the Chronicles of Narnia series, but my teacher in grade school read this out loud to us, and I fell in love with it.
When I first thought of my answer for this, I thought of Harry Potter, but that's pretty much everybody's favorite book from their childhood, so I went a little bit deeper, and I chose the Both Sides of Time series by Caroline B. Cooney. Also, I wanted to pick two other books just because they were so amazing, and it's Bridge to Terabithia and Where the Red Fern Grows. And actually, my middle school teacher read those out loud to us, and the entire class was bawling in both of them, so they were really good.
What is your favorite book? Hold on, because mine's the same.
Oh! We'll show them at the same time.
Go ahead, yours are.
I chose The Iron Queen.
I chose The Iron King. I just read this though. I just read it.
Yeah, I just read this I read this not the month before last month, and I love it. It's so good.
Yes, I haven't read that one.
This is the third one. This is the first one in the series.
By Julie Kagawa.
The Iron Queen is for some reason bigger.
And
it's the only one that's like that, and it sucks.
But very good fairy series, the Iron Face series. Jessica's been going on and on about it, but it's the first time I've actually read it, so I'm hooked. I read it in a day. I don't even think it was a day. I think it was a couple hours.
And she was mad at me that she had to read it. She's like, I don't want to read this book. I'm supposed to be reading other books. I don't want to start a new series. And then she's like,
I know, it was like this. I'm like, I'm done.
Great book. What book series do you have the most of? And I thought this was kind of a weird question because if you have all of the book series, doesn't that kind of count as having more percentage-wise than if you only have a certain amount of books in another one?
Yeah, I see what you're saying because there are obviously bigger series than other ones, but whether you're up to date in your series or not shows more of your love for that series rather than the size of the series. I picked the Gossip Girl series. This is book 1 in that series. There's 12 of them. I have all 12. And this is by Cecilia von Zigazagger.
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 The ones that I have the most of are the Sleep series by Kate Tiernan. Book of Shadows is the first one. There are 1,000 of these, and they're little itty bitty books. But they are really good. I think I've read up to the 8th one, and I have 9 of them. The second place was House of Night, in which I did have 9 of those also, but one of them was the Fledgling Handbook, so I didn't count it.
That counts. If it's part of the series, I say it counts.
Well, then I have this and House of Night.
Do you buy used books or do you use swap.com?
Well, there is not a good used bookstore around here. Me and Stacey would have no problem buying used books if there was, but there isn't.
There's some at the Goodwill and there's some at the library, but it's very random that you come across a good used book area. I've
Yeah.
been looking for them. Been looking for them.
We've even like gone online and looked, but the closest ones are like way out in Cincinnati and like downtown, and we're like, no, thank you.
Yeah, but you kind of buy used books from Amazon sometimes.
Sometimes, but we're very not buy on the internet. We try to buy at bookstores if we can. And then as far as swap.com goes, no. 1, because I've never heard of it. 2, because you have to swap books, and I want to keep my books.
I love my books. Never will I trade them to a stranger.
They
might be
they were taken care of.
They might be abusive. They might throw coffee.
What if they dog ear?
They might dog ear. They might
wrong.
leave it out in the rain. I mean, my poor baby. No, never.
That wouldn't happen. The next question is, who is your favorite hottest guy or girl in a book?
Right now, there's so many of them, but right now, again, I just read the Iron King series. Or the Iron King, the first one in the Iron Fairy series, and I really like Ash. Ash is so cute. Oh,
I'm so Team Ash.
he's so hot.
Oh God.
But I like the other guy too. I'm like torn.
That's what I said in my review of that. I'm like, this is the only time I haven't known which team I'm going to be on.
But because he's Puck, you know, he's got his whole background.
And he's so funny.
And he's been a friend of hers for a long time. I'm so torn. Yes. You must read it. Here you go. Take it. Here, take it. Read it. You gotta read it right now.
I was actually going to pick Ash, but I figured I had already just spotlighted the Iron Fae series. So I chose actually Edward from the books, just because he's the classic guy that everyone loves, and if you ignore the movies entirely, Edward is still a pretty cool guy.
The next question is question 8. What is your favorite book cover?
I really don't like this question very much, just because I have such a hard time picking. It's so difficult. So, since I've picked some other ones, I decided I would pick The Dark and Hollow Places, just because look at how pretty it is.
Mine, I'm like really freaking out about my classics right now. You know, Borders is closing, can't collect my Borders classics anymore, so I'm like desperately trying to look for a new classic series to collect. Jessica showed me a classics set up at Barnes & Noble's. That is really beautiful. The hardcover gilded books that are really gorgeous.
That's the one I'm getting.
And I think I want to get it, but those look like you don't want to touch them. And they're like $20 a book.
So we decided we're going to get 2 sets of classics.
The Barnes & Noble Cool set.
To collect.
And then this set, the Penguins Deluxe Edition set. They came out with new covers for all of them, and they're very beautiful artwork.
They're very, very pretty, and these are the ones that you're going to want to love on.
Yeah, and they got different, like there's a little picture of Jane Austen, beautiful artwork cover on them. And just in case you weren't wondering, Penguins Classics, they have 1,000 titles in their classic section. 1,000 titles. So that's a lot of titles to collect. You won't just get the classic ones like Persuasion and Jane Austen and all that, but you get ones like The Bone People, which I've never heard of, and you get these beautiful covers to go with them. And yeah, so I like
that. That's a pretty good freaking collection.
Yeah. Oh, and you can buy the original set, not the deluxe set, the original set, Penguins Classic set, on Amazon, the whole 1,000 titles, but guess how much it is?
Just guess. Take a moment to guess.
Let's see. No, you're wrong.
That's not right. It's higher.
Try again. No,
still higher.
13. It's over $13,000 for the whole set. And there's a guy who bought it online, and he explained it. He said it comes in like 40 boxes, and it fills up like 3 bookshelves, like the size of me and Jesse's, the 6 shelves. Yeah. So if you be rich, go get it
and give it to us.
Yeah.
We'll split it. We don't mind.
But anyways, I'm going to try to buy as much as the Penguin Deluxe editions, because I think these covers are so cool. They're beautiful. Everyone's different, but then they look awesome together on your bookshelf.
Yep, I'm also going to be getting those, but I'm going to start getting the collector's ones first, and then getting those.
Yes,
later.
So we're going to get both, because we're just weird like that.
Because it's the collector. You know, some people collect coins, some people collect toenail clippings. I collect books.
I collect both.
That seems healthy. Toenail clippings and books.
And books.
Next question is, what is your favorite type of book cover?
My favorite genre type of cover is generally YA, but the actual cover, I like things that are shiny. I should have brought a shinier one.
She has a really shiny one that she bought purely because it was shiny.
Anything that's shiny, I'm like, oh, shiny.
She does. She just fingers shiny and attacks it. And it's like, what are you doing? People are staring.
I like things that are shiny.
Okay, my favorite type of book cover, since you know, my favorite book cover, it makes sense that it would be my favorite type, is a very eerie picture and then a pretty font. I like the eerie pictures and then the fonts that match and look good and have this sides that really stand out on your bookshelf.
What it was the first book you ever read that you can remember?
I have no idea.
Well, what was the first classic you remember reading?
Gone with the Wind.
Okay, there you go. Gone with the Wind.
But I just Gone with the Wind. I don't remember. She's just trying to force a book out of me. That's not the right answer. I don't remember is the right answer.
The first one that I remember reading, I'm pretty sure it's not my first one that I ever read. But I got this from my school library, and then when I was about halfway reading it, she's like, if you want it, you could buy it for a nickel. So it's the first book I bought for myself. It is Dan Morgan, The Rifleman by Ernest Tucker. And yes, it was my first book. And the sad thing is I've never finished this. I got about halfway through, and I'm like, riflemen are boring. I stopped. But it's got like pictures in it and everything.
Cute book.
Yeah, so I was really glad that I got to buy it. It was my first book that I bought by myself. And I wrote all up in this thing.
It's I love this person crossed out. I love this person crossed out. The next question is, what is your favorite book to movie adaptation?
I haven't really seen and read too many book to movie adaptations. Have you ever read the book and not seen the movie, or I've seen the movie and I've not read the book? There's very few movies where I've actually seen both of them.
Kind of along the same lines as Stacy, there's only a couple that have actually done both. There's a lot more coming out, but they aren't out yet. Mm-hmm. But the first one that came to my mind was the new adaptation of Jane Eyre. I absolutely loved that movie.
And I say Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley.
That's really good too.
Jane Austen.
And I really like Little Women too.
I love that.
The remake of Makeup Classics were just really good. I think they did a great job keeping to that.
Little Woman is on the dime.
I
mean, word for word. That movie is the book. There's only a couple little scenes that they cut out, but besides that, word for word the book. When did you start making videos for YouTube? Question 12.
I started in January with YA Fiction Freaks, and then we started in May of 2010.
I started with YA Fiction Freaks March 27th, 2010. And I did my first book review over Evermore by Alison Noel.
I did my first book review over Fallen, and I was like so obsessed with it. And now I don't feel like I would be that obsessed with it. Like I haven't even read the second one.
No. And my first book review, oh my god, it's so funny to watch because you can hear what I say.
You can hear what I say.
Not one word.
I'm like, I'm Jessica with YA Fiction Freaks. I just want to tell you guys why I started reading books. But you can't hear me, so you'll never get to know.
So don't worry if you're a new booktuber and you talk quiet like that. Eventually you'll get more confidence and you'll learn to speak up.
And you'll learn how to turn your videos up. The next question is, where is the best place to read?
I've started reading in my bed.
I always used to read in my bed.
And I've always told Jessica it's such a bad thing to read in your bed. It really is. It really is. It's bad. It's because you need to train your body to let it know that when it's in bed, it's sleep time. So if you watch TV or read books or anything like that, it will mess up your sleep pattern and make it harder for you to go to sleep when you lay down. That's not true. That is true. They've done research on it.
Not true for me. I do homework in my bed and everything.
Well, now I have started to read in my bed, and
she falls asleep every time.
I fall asleep every time.
We'll be like, Stacey's upstairs reading 2 hours later. Stacey's upstairs sleeping.
I will read like a couple of chapters and I'm out. But I need to stop reading in my bed because maybe I'll start finishing some more books.
Yeah, I can read in my bed. I can watch TV in my bed. I can do homework in my bed. I'm good. No, and that's because I've done it my whole life.
My body is trained that when my head hits the pillow, you're gone. Have you written your own fan fiction for a book? Question 14. Maybe I should say the number before I read it.
I don't even say the number. Why are you saying the number?
So they know where we're at.
They're like, oh my god, they're still talking. No, I've never written my own fan fiction.
Me either.
Just because I feel like that's the author's responsibility. That's the author's story.
I didn't even know what fan fiction was before we did this tag.
Fan fiction is sometimes really fun to read. The next question is, if you could only read 3 books for the rest of your life, what would they be?
And I try not to go to the go-to series because I'm tired of picking the same series over and over again.
I went to the go-to series.
I picked the whole series. The first one I picked is the first book in the Chemical Garden trilogy, which is Wither by Lauren DeStefano. It's a dystopian novel. Really like it. The second one I picked is the Resurrection of Magic series by Kathleen Dewey. And it is like a darker version of Harry Potter. Very good. Can't wait for the third one. So I picked a magic one, a dystopian one, and a princess one. I picked Legacy by Kayla Kluver. Very, very good fantasy.
I picked my go-to books. because I sat there and I actually put a lot of thought into this. And I'm like, there's a fire, I have to go upstairs and grab books. Which ones do I grab? And then I'm like, what if the world is ending? What if it's a zombie apocalypse and these 3 books are the only 3 books that are going to get to carry on? The Iron Queen by Julie Kagawa.
Third time this video.
I love this series.
Obviously.
Underrated, and you should read it. Mortal Instruments, first one, because this series just has so many elements. And it's very good.
That's my go-to one, too.
And then I picked Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows because the series is so good.
Nobody's ever heard of that. Maybe you should actually give them some more information on it because
It's
I'm
so
not
good.
sure too many people know about it.
Okay, this is not a get-to-know books, okay? This is a what would you pick if you were about to go?
I love Harry Potter, too.
I love Harry Potter. I could not pick Harry Potter just because this is the book that got everyone in our generation into reading. This is the making of nerds. The next question is, what is the longest book that you have ever read? And this is the same for both of us.
This book is 870 pages long, and it is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. You might think that the Deathly Hallows is actually longer, but it's not.
Deathly Hallows only has 759.
Yeah, so this is a lot bigger. And it's actually my favorite book in the Harry Potter series.
Really? That's one of my least favorites.
I know. It's because this is when action starts to happen. You know what I mean?
You know why I hate this one?
People start realizing that Voldemort is back. They're
Spoilers for Harry Potter.
They're organizing and they're starting to get their crap together. It's like I feel like it's starting like right now. It's starting. Bam.
I hate this one because this is the one where Harry starts to push everybody away. All the books up until now, Harry and Hermione were totally gonna get it together, and then Harry starts being a big fat jerk because he's not a prefect, and Voldemort's back.
Also, where Hermione and Ron started to see their connection. Me and Jessica had bets going on and who would end up together, and I said,
come on,
Hermione and Ron are so gonna end up together, and she was Hermione and Harry.
And this is when it stopped. This is when it's not gonna be Hermione and Harry anymore.
So this is when Jessica started being wrong, and Stacey started being right. So of course I hate it. And of course I love it.
I also hate Goblet of Fire. I cannot read the first 1,000 pages.
I don't like Goblet of Fire either. If you were to write a book, what would the title be and why?
I've actually tried writing a couple books. The only one I've ever named was named Imaginarium, and I don't remember why.
We've answered this question before, and I'm not a writer. I'm a reader, so no, I don't write.
That wasn't the question. It was if you were to write a book.
We answered this last time, and I pulled out the history of chapter chicks, the rise to fame of chapter chicks, and that's all I got.
The next question is, how many books did you read last month?
I read 9.
Good job, Stacey.
Yeah, thanks.
I read 11.
Good job, Jessica.
Thanks.
What was the last book you read?
I read Whirlwind by Robert Liparulo. It is the 5th book in the Dreamhouse King series, and that series is so good, so go read it. The first book is House of Dark Shadows.
I read the 2nd book in the Castor Chronicles series, which is Beautiful Darkness by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll.
That's such a good series.
Yes.
Question 20. It is, do you fantasize yourselves in books you like?
Easy answer, yes.
I always picture myself as the main character when I'm reading a book, even if I don't like it.
What is your favorite bookstore?
Our favorite bookstore was Borders.
Yes.
But it's closed now.
It's officially closed.
So now, but we've accepted it. We've come to an acceptance with Borders being closed because we found a really good bookstore. Our main thing with Borders was not only that it was Borders and it was awesome, it was that you could go there, and if you got the coupons and all that stuff, you could get books for a cheaper price than you could anywhere else besides Amazon. Now our favorite bookstore is Joseph Beth.
We went to our Barnes & Noble, and we just did not like Barnes & Noble at all. Their YA section was bad. The people who worked there were snobby. Their rewards program was a joke. It's like, seriously, you're going to make me pay $25 for a 10% off coupon? That's it? Seriously?
We were very welcomed at Joseph Beth.
And plus, Joseph Beth has a lot of author signings. That's how most of our books, all of our books have gotten signed from Joseph Beth. So even though it's very far away, we love Joseph Beth.
The next question is hardback or paperback?
I am hardback all the way. I love my hardbacks. They last longer. They look better on your shelf.
Okay.
I love them.
I used to be a paperback girl just because it was so cheap. And now that I've gotten into series that I've really loved and really want to preserve, I kind of am more hardback now.
Do you have more than one copy of the same book?
Yes, I have several books that I have more than one copy of, just simply because I would like, for example, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, I bought the first book in that little mass production paperback copy, and then I realized how cute it was, so I went out and bought the hardback box set. I have several copies of Vampire Academy.
I have a bunch of double copies, especially when it comes to my classics, and I accidentally, first time that I've accidentally bought a book twice.
So funny.
I bought the 5th book in the Sweep series twice, so I'll be giving that one away, and I didn't mean to, so yeah, that was embarrassing.
I do have a couple books that I have doubles of trying to give them away too. The next question is, would you rather read about vampires or werewolves?
Vampires.
I would like to say that I'm just equal and I'd like to read about them both.
She's an equal opportunity employer.
But if you look at my bookshelves and look at how many books I've read, I am a vampire girl all the way.
Yes,
I can never get tired of it. People are like, I'm so tired of vampire books. I'm like, vampire book!
It mentions the vampire on page 327. We must buy it.
I love vampires.
The last question, finally, is kind of embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
Do you own more than 150 books?
Yes. Yes, sir, I do.
We know the number of the books we own, too.
I have 412 books. That's a lot of books. And that's not even counting books I have lent out right now.
That's such a fun number.
That is so many. How many do you got, Stacey?
Well, you gotta think I have my riff-raff books, my classic books, my very old,
How many books you got, Stacey?
old 445.
How many books?
Wow. This tag is open to anybody who wants to do it, but we would like to tag 3 people specifically to try to get some shout-outs out there in light of the YouTube love that we got from the last video. The first one is Allison from the Page Peeps. She only has 2 subscribers and we are one of them. She's been doing this for a couple months now and she's really having a hard time getting her channel name out there. So please go check her out.
The next person we want to tag is Amanda at Pages Upon Pages. She actually did a video response to our YouTube therapy and it was really cute and fun to watch and stuff.
And she's brand new.
Yeah, so go check her out. A lot of people have been asking us about new booktubers, and so these are some people that you guys can go check out because they're awesome.
And this next person, she also did a response to our YouTube therapy video, but she didn't post it as a video response. I had no idea she had a book channel, or we would have shouted her out before because Blair is awesome. We love her.
We love Blair.
So go check her out.
And you're tagged, Blair.
That is the Bookalicious tag. Thank you for the Bookalicious channel for making this and tagging us. We had fun doing it even though it was very long. So this tag is open to all, and yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed this week's tag. Bye guys.